Okay, first I'll say all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bashim Ashab Bashim Gakudash. And give double honor to Apostle and teachers, great millstone from my learning the truth, and I say shalom to the whole collective Israel. And I'm just gonna start out with my speech maybe kind of slurred a little bit because I bit the shit out of my tongue. I got a fucking canker sore. So I'm gonna try to I just wanna make that clear in case my speech sounds kind of fucking slurred because it does. But yeah. I'm going to turn this around topic of something that a coworker said today. He called himself a king, a black king. And I'm going to tie this something along the lines of we was kings and queens, you know? Because that's something our people like to use, how they are kings and queens. Now, being a queen isn't a good thing because when you go into the word queen, the original word there is Gwen or Quen. I think it's Gwen or Quen, if I'm not mistaken. And that word means whore. There's a word that goes back into that actually means queen, but the original meaning of that word means whore. So I mean, they are whores, but in the context of which they think they're using it incorrectly. Our people, how they are slaves. They're not kings or queens. They don't carry themselves like kings or queens. Well, princesses, not queens, but they don't carry themselves as royalty. Now, our people are inherently royalty, but because as children of God, the King of the universe, we are royalty. But when you have royalty, when they're coming up, they're they're taught certain things. They're taught to act a certain way. I'm sure you've heard the saying, if some along the lines of how you get treated how you act. And our people act like niggas, so they get looked at and treated like niggas. They don't get looked at and treated as kings and queens with respect because they don't show any respect to anybody. But also they don't carry themselves in a respectful manner. The women dressing like harlots, and then they get upset when men treat them and view them as harlots. And the men acting like niggas and sashaying like faggots. And then they wonder why they get no respect from other men, from other nations, and from the women. Because they don't carry themselves like they don't carry themselves in such in the manner. Now I'm not gonna go into my personal life or anything, but there's women that I've met and dealt with that regard me in a certain manner because of the way I carry myself. They address me in a respectful manner because of how I carry myself, and that's how they receive me. But not like, of course, not making it about me, but that's just an example of how with men, they act like, obviously you're gonna have your bitches, right? And you're gonna have thoughts and dumbasses and hoes and bitches that's just disrespectful. But I only want to say, for the most part, you do have people that if you carry yourself a certain way, they'll receive you in a certain way, and they'll treat you as they receive you. And like, one of the things with us is how we act in a respectful manner to somebody who's reasonable. Even Esau, even certain Edomites, they'll treat you in a respectable manner. They ain't gonna, what's that term? They ain't gonna get fresh with you. This is 1 Peter 2:9. But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, and holy nation, a peculiar people, that you should show forth the praises of him who called you out of darkness into his marvelous light. And just bit my fucking tongue again. But there's multiple areas where the Lord refers to us as kings, judges, priests, as royalty. But once again, when you go into the ways of the Lord, He teaches us. He doesn't just because a lot of our people just claim that title without doing any work. You can't claim the title of a manager without doing any work or training leading up to that position. And that's what our people do. They like to claim that title, just because it sounds good. But there's more to it than just sounding good. There's power behind that title, and even in our lowest state, once again, people will receive you and they'll treat you in a certain manner. I was one of my jobs. I was well fucking respected. Even though I was quiet, I did my work. I acted a certain manner. You didn't go around starting shit. Became known and people like me and respect me because of that. Because of the way I carried myself. Even motherfuckers who didn't like me. You know? Not to say that like I said, it's not like that all the time because you will have your assholes. But for the most part, a nigga will get treated like a nigga because he acts like a nigga. A hoe's gonna get treated like a hoe because she act like a hoe. Gonna jump down 12. Having your conversation going into your lifestyle, honest among the Gentiles, that whereas they speak against you as evildoers, that they may by your good works. Whereas they speak against you as evildoers, they may by your good works, which they shall behold, glorify Yahweh in the day of visitation. Yeah, yeah. So once again, even among these, even among in the world, once again, they'll treat you in a certain way if you follow the law, statutes, commandments. How about Shema Shai? Because once again, following the Lord teaches us how to be kings, priests, gods, judges, and princesses. Because once again, a woman in Israel is not to be called a queen, because that means whore. In the kingdom, going to be kings, princes, princesses. But going to that comment that the guy made, yes, we were and are kings and princesses. He used the word queens, but he doesn't really know shit. But yeah, they use those terms incorrectly. They label, like I said, they label themselves those terms because they think it's something cool. But even when you go into these medieval type of TV shows and whatnot, when you have a son or you have a young boy or a young girl, she's growing up. They're growing up. They're being trained for that position of ruler. You know, for that position of royalty and authority, because they aren't just Once again, they are. If I go into prince, means son of a god, son of a king, if I remember correctly. But they don't take that king title just just because. They have to be groomed and trained. And that's what, Yahweh Shemashah is doing us through the law, statutes, commandments. And now, with the order that he set up through the prophets, the men of great millstone, the men who teach the same doctrine as them. And you niggas call yourselves kings. What are you the king of? What the king and queens of Africa? Hamites don't like Israelites. They made that fucking clear by ripping you dumb niggas off with the fucking what's that shit? With what's that word? With fucking phony clothes and shit. So I know there was this one time when I was young. I was young. I didn't really know shit. Fucking fake ass Gucci belt was sold to me for like $20 fucking dollars. I was like fucking high school and shit. But you got Ham that do shit. I'm not sure if they still do it, but a lot of shit like that was going on when I was young. The point being is that you're not kings, you're not queens of Africa. The Africans / Hamites don't like y'all. They don't like Israelites. But that was pretty much the point. Short video. Just going into how our people, like I said, they use those terms incorrectly, and you can't just label yourself that. You have to. There has to be something behind that because that term has weight, and that's well, and even like I said, that's why nobody really respects niggas and thoughts, even when they live, because there's no because everybody knows there's no weight, there's no backing behind those terms that they call themselves. But hope is that fine. Say all praises, glory, and honor. How about Shema Shah, Bashim Gakadash, and the ones of apostle, and the backing and the respect and the backing, because like there's a scripture that talks about how when we're in the kingdom, the heathens are gonna know who we are. Why? Because they're gonna know that we're kings and princess and sons of God. Why? Because there's backing and there's power, there's work behind it. But all praise and glory and honor to Yahweh Bashim Shah Bashim Gakadash, the ones of apostle and teacher, great military, follow the truth. Shalom to hopeful like Israel, destruction of Babylon the Great.